Well, good afternoon, class.
Good afternoon.
Hello, teacher.
We have two different harpsichords right now in the Sequoias, which is probably two more than any other institution has. And I found so many people who had never heard of such an instrument, so I decided to do just a little school teaching. Now, obviously, both instruments have keyboards, but the piano has 88. That has been standard since about 1850s. The harpsichord, I haven't even counted them, but it's obviously 2/3 of that. And that's just the way it is. Now, if you want to realize another very significant difference, there's the difference in how the sound is produced. When I play a piano, there is a hammer that strikes the keys, which means, in a sense, it's a percussion instrument. But when you play a note on the keyboard, on the harpsichord, a little gadget inside plucks the string. It's more related to a guitar or various mandolins or even lutes, instruments where the fingers of the player make the sound cluck. So that's quite a difference. Now, you also notice there's a difference in the duration. I'm going to play this as loud as I can. Can you still hear it?
Yeah.
It lasts a fair amount of time. Now, when I play here,
Gone.
is it gone?
Oh, yes.
Yes. On this instrument, I can play it loud, or I can play it very soft. That's why it was originally named what it was, the forte piano, because it could play both loud and soft. Now, this instrument is a very modest scale instrument. There's only one keyboard, and there's no way to change the sound. Well, there is, but not at the moment. So the sound is what it is. It wouldn't do any good to press it hard. It would probably gum up the works. So you press it just enough, not too much, because it will sort of, I couldn't describe what happens. But if you play it just right, then it sounds. And that's what's hard about it, because the piano player is so used to making it loud, soft, medium. The harpsichord player has to be very controlled. As a matter of fact, it's very similar to the touch of an organ player. And that takes a while to learn. It's not impossible, obviously, a lot of us have done it, but it's still, that's the way it is. So I thought the best way to talk about this program is not really piano versus harpsichord. That was sort of a bad joke. What I mean is piano and harpsichord compare and contrast. So some of the comparisons are obvious, and some of them are a little more subtle. Now, there's one thing a piano has that harpsichord does not have, and you've all seen it, but you might not have thought much about it. For instance, now, what makes the sound continue? The pedal, which makes the dampers that would otherwise shut off the sound, let it come going. And it also means that other strings on the piano will also vibrate sympathetically. So you'll have a much richer, louder sound. So not only can one note be louder, but the whole chord structure can be quite a bit louder with the use of the pedal. So what I am going to do is play a piece on one instrument and then on the other. So I'm not stacking the decks. I'm going to go back and forth. So sometimes you'll hear harpsichord first and sometimes piano first. That may not be the way a real person would do it, but that's what I'm doing here. I was thinking of a real harpsichord player because I'm not a real harpsichord player, but I'm trying. So here we go with number one. Where is that glass?
Glasses are beside the,
Keys.
oh, on the keys.
That's what sympathies.
Yes. Oh, I like this. How many people have ever heard it before? It's very well known. It's yeah.
Bach's Prelude number 1 from, sorry,
Yes.
Yeah, that one.
that's his first prelude from the Well-Tempered Clavier by J.S. Bach, but you might have heard it as the accompaniment to Ave Maria,
Yes.
because the French composer Gounod set himself the task of writing a tune to go with this as its accompaniment. So many people have heard it, although they never knew what you called it. Okay, now when I'm going to play it on the harpsichord, I'm going to be playing a modern instrument, and my theory is I am playing a modern instrument, and I am playing something that can sound quite romantic in my estimation. So I'm not going to try to make it sound like I'm playing the music that would be on the harpsichord, just the way play it exactly the way you would on the piano, because I don't get the point. So I'm going to play this in a very romantic style, which means I can get louder and softer and faster and slower and use the pedal, and Bach would probably have a fit.
Is the music written the same way?
It's the same music, yeah.